Hi guys, and welcome to one of the first React videos. I did some Diablo news in the past, but uh, this will be different. So dive into this video with me. It is about Diablo 4 Into the Endgame, and we'll see what I have to say. Let's start.
We're really excited about getting this game into players' hands and letting them experience this massive world.
A main cornerstone of D4 is play your way. As a player continues to advance through the story and into the endgame, they'll unlock a ton of brand new activities that provide meaningful progression, no matter their playstyle.
Players will be able to keep progressing in the narrative of the game. Alongside that, the whole team has worked on crafting a variety of different experiences players can pursue.
We're going to have an entire world of Sanctuary for our players to offer. There's going to never be an absence of something to do.
After the player has finished the campaign, there's a lot more game to go and participate in.
Late free build.
They gain access to a special, what we call capstone dungeon that they have to complete. Once they're able to finish this capstone dungeon, they're going to gain access to the first world tier.
As you complete the world tier, it will open up the opportunity for you to go into your next world tier. That involves unlocking powerful loot, new items, and more advantages for your player to have a better opportunity at end game.
Whether you're a fan of dungeons, PvP, or just roaming around the world, there's a way to continue your Diablo adventure long after hitting max level. As your character continues to grow in power, you'll start with the skill tree and expand out into the Paragon system.
A lot of the choices the players make are grounded on skills themselves and the fantasies associated with those skills. The Paragon board is a place where we're allowed to have a lot more depth, a lot more customization.
Wait. I think this is the first time we really see the Paragon board. Let me
Fantasies associated with those skills.
go a little bit back. So these are the nodes. It seems like these small ones here are like just attributes, like 5 to dexterity. Probably here is something with intelligence, and this strength, attack power. And then you have like this bigger nodes that probably are more impactful. Because 5 dexterity, to be honest, it's not very exciting. There are also glyphs, okay.
The Paragon board is a place where we're allowed to have a lot more depth.
Cheap shot, what did it
Themselves
say?
and the fantasies associated with those skills. The Paragon board is a place where we're allowed to have a lot.
Cheap shot, legendary node. Deal 5 increased damage for each nearby enemy that is crowd controlled up to 25%. Okay, so this will enhance your build if you are going for like a crowd control build with like my flurry build that I made a video about that was like on the flurry crowd control side. Okay.
A lot more depth, a lot more customization, many more options as you go.
You can rotate the board, so you can choose a different path if you're like, I want to do more strength-based things, or I want these particular boons or glyphs. You can chart your path through it, and they're really a way for you to keep expanding your character and making it uniquely yours.
Similar to the Paragon boards is the Codex of Power. It's an in-game system that holds the aspects related to the character. You are able to complete a dungeon, and they will have a chance to drop an aspect that you can pick up.
And what this allows players to do is take items they're finding in the world and make them more powerful, turn them into legendary items.
It's really special to discover what kind of playstyle really means the most to you.
Don't know every legendary power yet.
Every part of Sanctuary is fulfilling and satisfying. Dungeons in particular are really close to my heart. Nightmare dungeons are going to give the players the opportunity to experience a dungeon that they might have already experienced in their past playthroughs. They'll enter the dungeon with a found sigil that alters the playstyle and the intensity of the dungeon.
They're more difficult, and they have additional objectives, and then they also have
Additional
affixes,
objectives, okay.
which add a degree of difficulty.
Like, as if the objectives in dungeon weren't tedious enough, they're adding additional ones, like, I don't know, instead of 2 stones, you have to find 3 stones to open the door. I'm just kidding, of course, but like, this will be like, I think, the ongoing meme.
For you and your group to work through.
One of my favorite affixes that you can find in Nightmare Dungeons is actually called Hellgate. Occasionally, these portals will open up throughout the area that will just pour out different monsters that aren't native to that region for you to also be dealing with while you're trying to handle everything else inside the dungeon. There's over 120 dungeons to play through and find in Diablo 4, and any one of them can become a nightmare dungeon by finding a nightmare sigil and then using it
How
to
do I
activate
find
the
the
nightmare
nightmare
version
sigil?
of that dungeon space.
Everything's a little darker, everything's more difficult. It's going to add a little bit of a twist
they
of flavor
said it
on your particular dungeon.
Point.
There's some targeted activities in Diablo 4 that suit what you're feeling in the mood for.
The Forces of Hell are starting to have more influence in certain parts of Sanctuary in the vast interconnected overworld of the experience.
So this is the terror zones that we have in Diablo 2 Resurrected, like the Helltide areas, I assume.
And as the players are going into Helltide areas, they're gonna find even more powerful monsters. And by killing them, they'll be able to gain these special shards they can take to go and use to purchase these big rewards that are available at these caches that are found literally throughout Helltide areas.
The sky darkens.
Sounds cool. Let's go back a bit because like it's all like red. It seems like it's also visually showing like and then all those veins and stuff, and then I don't know what in the middle of this globe is with like something fleshy, bloody. Like visually, it's pretty cool. Like it's not just going like a little bit darker or something. It's just actually a different feel of the zone.
As the player killing them, they'll be able to gain these special shards they can take to go and use to purchase these big rewards that are available at these caches that are found literally throughout Helltide areas.
The sky darkens and the rivers run red, meteors fall from the sky, and the monsters get harder.
That's cool.
We really want to create new experiences for the players. There's one I really like called Whispers of the Dead, which you get from the Tree of Whispers. The Tree of Whispers is grim and a little gruesome, but it's also something mystically haunting and kind of beautiful.
The tree has a little bit of a grudge against our players and would like for them to go serve. It's
Wait. Whisper silence the festering burrow. So they are in a cellar right now. Like these cellars are just like one room and there's like a couple of monsters and it's sometimes not even worth it considering like the loading times going in and out of that. But they're somehow connected to this whispering tree.
needs. So you're going to go serve these bounties, gather different rewards, different items, and bring them back to the tree in hopes that it can exchange you something really meaningful.
Maybe you're going to go to the Fractured Peaks and take out some werewolves that are rampaging in a town.
Okay, these are
They're
quests,
contained activities that you can do alone or in a group. We really wanted to create variety for people to be able to spend time where they wanted to in the world. It's very cool the way it's been put together. And
Well, the question is like, are these all equally rewarding, and do they take the same or similar amount of time? Like, yes, people can choose where to go, and it's cool to have that freedom. I guess if you're not into min-maxing, then it's good to have these choices, but it has to be so that you don't feel pressurized to do always nightmare dungeons, because that's where the best rewards are. That's where like it's the most efficient, and it's not worth it. It's not worth your time to do the others something. So this will be interesting how they balance these different endgame activities.
can't wait for people to see it, to be honest.
Fields of Hatred, PvP.
In Diablo 4, we have a focus on the world of Sanctuary. And there are parts of that world that we call the Fields of Hatred, where Lilith's presence in Sanctuary has begun to seep through and manifest these poisonous areas throughout the world. When players go to these regions, they get to engage in player versus player conflict.
These offer opportunities for the player to collect shards. But there is a little bit of a catch. In order to get these shards back to town, you will need to purify them. Other players will definitely know that you're attempting to purify your shards, so you'd better be prepared to fight if you're going to be playing any PvP, and be prepared that you might lose some stuff in the
It
meantime.
will be so
Once they've got the
balanced,
purified
though.
shards, they can take these, go back to nearby towns to
People
sell
will
them,
be
and then use that to buy a whole bunch of like interesting
going
cosmetic
crazy.
items and rewards.
It's a
upset.
place for people
Wait,
who really...
Buy a
Oh, okay. Unsavory oddities. I hate that these guys are just called like vendor. They like don't have any personality. It's just a random NPC. Okay. Somehow this, I don't know, this interface or like the UI looks a bit more concise. So how do you say, like more clear? Like the sockets, they look bigger and more clear than in the beta. Maybe I'm imagining things, but and you see an ear here. See, ears drop from players apparently, or something like that. That's cool. So you have your gold, you have your PvP bloodshots, and you have your murmuring obols. Oh, I don't know if we saw the mount interface before. Is it only on this shot? I don't know. But apparently if you go on your mount, you also have some skills to use. Oh, that's cool. I like that interface here and the little horses here.
A whole bunch of like interesting cosmetic items and rewards.
It's a place for people who really love PvP and want to still get loot and still increase their character's power. If that's the way they want to play, they can.
Launch is just the beginning. One of the things we're really focused on is creating a living, breathing set of updates for players to engage with after the game has gone live.
It's really just going to be a way to keep coming back and experiencing more Diablo 4 in fresh ways.
We're really eager to hear all of your experiences and just enjoy the entire story with you all.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's great there are different types of end game.
What this allows players to
Like you have nightmare dungeons, you have like the bounty system,
on skills themselves.
It's a flavor on your
you
particular.
have like terrorized zones, and you have PvP. I mean, that's already like 4 times the stuff that Diablo 3 has, which is just Rift. Okay, they also have bounties, but they kind of meaningless at some point. And then, yeah, Diablo 2 Resurrected added the terrorized zones, which was great. And yeah, again, like I will be curious to see how the rewards are balanced throughout the different end game systems. I mean, of course, it's always player choice to do what they want, but they will gravitate towards what is most efficient and gives you the best rewards, of course. So yeah, I like that. I'm really looking forward to hearing more, to seeing more. They haven't linked anything, like there's no blog post or something with more in-depth information, but I still think we got a lot of information here. More an overview, but a lot of cool new shots, especially like from the Paragon board. Nothing really too revealing in terms of legendary notes or something, or how to use these glyphs. That would be nice. Maybe this will come. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will come before launch. Like we get more information up until then. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching together with me. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. If you did, like and maybe leave a comment what you like best, which mode is yours to play. Do you like PvP? Do you like the bounty system more? Or maybe just roam around in an open world? Or are you really looking forward to dungeons? I'll be eager to hear it. Leave it down below in the comments. And until next time, good luck, have fun, and goodbye.